Hello, everyone. Come on in, come on in. Welcome to Getting Started with Blockchain Programming. My name is Alexandra, and I will be your host for today, and also your teacher, should you choose to join our class, which is starting up very soon. All right, so today, let's talk about the agenda. First, we're going to discuss who's on the call, get to know all of you, who is joined with us today on Zoom, because we want to know how much experience you have, what you're interested in, so that way we can tailor the course for you. Then we'll introduce Lumiwealth and what we do here at our school. And then we'll discuss some of the topics that we're going to learn in the masterclass. So tonight, you're just getting a small teaser of what is to come in the masterclass. So today we're going to do an overview of why learn blockchain, what is a blockchain, why learn Solidity, what is a cryptocurrency. So just an overview. And then in the actual course, we get into hands-on building projects. So let's begin. First, we want to find out who's on this call. So feel free to drop in the chat some information. We want to know, what is your occupation? Do you know how to code? Do you have any experience coding, or are you a beginner? It's totally fine if you are a beginner, because we tailored this course specifically for beginners. As well, we want to know, how much blockchain experience do you have? Again, it's totally fine if you don't have any blockchain experience, because we will teach you everything you need to know from scratch. So feel free to drop in the chat. Anyone who wishes to. I will start with myself. My name is Alexandra Kropova. I invested in Ethereum back in 2017. And since then, I've been teaching thousands of students online how to build smart contracts and decentralized apps for the blockchain. Okay, and we're getting some messages in the chat. Steven says, Steven is a Baton Rouge and has zero experience. Okay, or maybe from Baton Rouge. And zero experience. That's totally fine. Again, as mentioned, this course is tailored for beginners. We take you from knowing nothing, or perhaps very little, to understanding the whole blockchain landscape, how to code for the blockchain. And we start off simple, and then over each week, we build more and more advanced projects. We also have another message. Let's see. Kat is an artist and is a beginner to both coding and blockchain. As well, we have Shakia, a beginner with very minimal coding experience, here to learn more, learning new skills. Awesome, this is the perfect place to do just that. We also have Naya, who is a beginner programmer new to blockchain development. Okay, so if you have coding experience, that will definitely help you as we go throughout the weeks, and especially as we build more advanced projects. But we will teach you Solidity from scratch. Okay, let's see. We also have Jody, no experience except just a little reading, perhaps about blockchain. Okay, again, perfect place to be. We also have Fahim, a bus operator with zero experience. And we have Brandon, experience in coding, but none in blockchain. Okay, well, I'm glad to have our group tonight. Thank you all for messaging in the chat. Throughout the night, feel free to drop messages in the chat as you like. We're also going to save time at the end if you have any extra questions. All right, so next up, we're going to discuss what is Lumiwealth. We, Lumiwealth, are an online school focused primarily on the finance industry with topics like blockchain and algorithmic trading. And this is one of our newer courses, Blockchain Programming. We also have a YouTube channel where we post tons of free content often. So I encourage you all to subscribe on YouTube, where you can watch different webinars and previews like algorithmic trading and demos, options trading, and blockchain programming. So for those of you interested, I will drop a link to the channel in the chat. We also do live streams like this one. Also, we have a Discord channel, which everyone is free to join, where we have a whole bunch of students discussing questions and commenting, sharing posts. So if any of you would like to join our Discord, it's completely free. You don't even have to be enrolled. You can join the Discord. As well, we'll have a survey at the end of the webinar. So we encourage you to leave your feedback because we want to learn from you and hear what you want in our webinars and our courses. And again, feel free to ask questions throughout the night. All right, so that's an introduction to Lumiwealth. Now let's jump into some of the topics of the night. First off, we're going to talk about why learn blockchain. Perhaps some of you may have heard about blockchain. That's why you're here. Perhaps you've read about it, seen some of the popularity that's been growing. So let's discuss why learn about the blockchain in the first place. Well, number one is it's quite an exciting field. You can build a lot of fun and new projects that have real-world applications and that are using a cutting-edge tool that many developers still don't know how to use. So it's a new field. And as well, blockchain is applicable across different industries. You've maybe heard about cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, maybe you've heard about NFTs, but the blockchain technology can go beyond just cryptocurrencies and NFTs, although those are the most common and popular ways that blockchain technology is being used today. As mentioned, perhaps you've heard of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. We'll get into them a bit more later tonight. This is a way of using digital currency that is built on the blockchain in order to make transactions or payments. And we'll get into that more. We also are going to discuss NFTs. Perhaps some of you have heard of NFTs because they've become quite popular today in the media. And beyond that, blockchain can be used in different industries, like from games to web development to game development, games, and in finance especially, and in even music. Even those kinds of industries can use blockchain technology. For example, in a game, you can record your users, your players, and what they do on the blockchain. You can also accept payments in cryptocurrencies, and you could connect NFTs to a game where if someone owns a particular NFT, then they get special powers in the game. So there's a lot of funding in game development for connections to blockchain. So a lot of companies are taking existing processes and connecting it to this new blockchain technology. Another example is in web applications. You can take a website and you can inject it with blockchain technology. For example, taking a regular website where you would sign in with your username and your password, or your email and your password, and instead being able to connect to your account via the blockchain. So that's just one small example of taking a website and connecting it with blockchain technology. So with the power of blockchain, we can take a piece of software like a website and we can connect it to the blockchain. One example of this is Web 3.0. This is the general term for how the web is being changed with blockchain technology. So originally, back in the 80s, we had Web 1.0, where the web was mostly static web pages, and few people knew how to make a website. And then currently, we're in the phase of Web 2.0, where there's a lot of social media, a lot of data being passed around, a lot of users on the web. But there are some shortcomings to Web 2.0. For example, a lot of your data is not private. It's being owned by these companies that have a monopoly. So it's hard for a small company to make way in a space when these big companies have a lot of monopoly and power. So with Web 3.0, the goal is to bring blockchain technology into the web. So it's just one example of how blockchain technology can change an industry or change how software is made. So with Web 3.0, the goal is to make a more decentralized web where the data is more transparent in terms of who owns it and how it's being handled. And as well with blockchain, we have fewer hacks, fewer identity thefts that are possible because thanks to blockchain, there's more security. So therefore less hacking that can happen compared to a traditional website. And this is especially important in something like a bank website or a financial company. So with Web 3.0, we can take the current state that we have, Web 2.0, where we have these monopolized companies and where you're not sure who owns your data, what's being done with it, and we can attempt to address some of those issues. So Web 3.0 is currently being developed and advanced. There are lots of tools that you can use currently to build a website with Web 3.0. but it's not currently completely adopted yet. The whole web is not Web 3.0 just yet. So that's just another example of how blockchain is changing the world, changing an industry and software. Another example is just companies in general, especially financial companies that want to use blockchain technology to improve their systems. For example, if they're getting a lot of hacks, well, you can use blockchain technology to reduce hacks and improve security. As well, you can use the blockchain to track your business process. If you often find that there's miscommunication or that something in your process gets lost, for example, when shipping out a product and having a supply chain, and especially financial companies, as I mentioned as well. So there's a lot of funding across different industries for incorporating blockchain technology. And of course, another way that blockchain is changing the world is via transactions. So more and more companies are allowing payments with cryptocurrencies. So that's a very popular example, transactions and cryptocurrencies, but I hope you can see that blockchain technology has applications in other areas as well. For example, being the future of the internet. So those are just some reasons to learn the blockchain. You can build projects that intersect with all these different industries. Also, you can make better investments because if you understand the blockchain and how it works, then you can watch out for fraud, for scams, and therefore make better investment choices if you are investing in perhaps a cryptocurrency. And there are good job prospects. As I mentioned, there's a lot of funding and few developers currently know how to build blockchain projects compared to other projects out there because it's a newer technology. So this is a great time to get into the space, high demand and low supply. So now we know why learn the blockchain. Hope you are all getting excited about the blockchain and seeing the potential about some of the projects that you can build, because there's lots of projects that have yet to be built and the technology is advancing every day. So there's lots of opportunity for kinds of projects that you can create that are unique. Now let's get into what is exactly a blockchain and how does one work and what are some of the most popular ones. So we're just doing an overview today, and then in our course, in our masterclass starting soon, we're going to dive deeper into the blockchain ecosystem and also build projects, of course. But to start, let's talk about what is a blockchain. A blockchain can be visualized just as the name says, a chain of blocks. So you can picture this chain of blocks that are all connected, and you can't break the chain or change anything on the chain. And in these blocks live transactions that are done to the blockchain. So if I have one Bitcoin and I send it to you, that transaction will be recorded on the blockchain. So this helps to reduce double spending or counterfeiting digital currency because the blockchain will track where each coin went or each fraction of a coin, depending on how much you're sending. Now, of course, it's not actually a chain of blocks in the real world. There's no physical chain. This is just a visual for how the code is structured for the blockchain, because essentially the blockchain is code. It's a piece of software. The number one property that you should know about a blockchain, of which there are many, is that with a blockchain, you can establish trust between two or more people without having an intermediary or a middle party. The blockchain itself would be the middle party. For example, if I wanted to purchase from you a house, that's a big purchase. And typically I would go through the bank to trust that if I send you my money, you'll give me the house. And that's quite an extreme example, but this could be for any case. If I want to buy from you a computer, perhaps I would go through some kind of intermediary, like my Visa buying it online or my bank buying it online. So you have to have the bank as the middle party. And of course, the bank will take the fees. But with a blockchain, you can send payments directly without having that intermediary or third party. And the way that you can do this is you can trust that the self-executing code on the blockchain is going to do the transaction as agreed upon. So when I send the money to the blockchain will automatically send me the house, and I can trust the code that I can see on the blockchain because the code says that it will do that. So instead of having to trust you to send me the house or trust my bank to handle sending me the house, I can just trust the code on the blockchain. So transactions can be done a lot faster and cheaper because you don't have to rely on that third party. So that's the number one property to remember about a blockchain, although of course there's a lot to learn. The technical definition for a blockchain is a time-stamped series of immutable transactions. So let's break that down. Time-stamped means that each transaction will get a date and a time attached to it. So if I send you some cryptocurrency and I tell you I sent it, you can actually check, did I send it when I said that I sent it? If the transaction is not on the blockchain, then you can say that I lied. I didn't actually send it, because if it's not on the blockchain, then there's no proof that it's on there. And as well, it's a timestamp series of immutable transactions. Immutable means that you cannot change the transactions or the code that lives on the blockchain. So if I put up a contract onto the blockchain that says that whoever sends me 1 Bitcoin will get my new product, I can't change that after it's been put onto the blockchain. So that's why visitors to the blockchain, you and me, we can trust the blockchain because we know that it's going to do what it says. It's not going to be changed. And then we have a transaction as well in this definition. A transaction doesn't have to be just money. It can be whatever is put onto the blockchain. This might be code. This might be handling logging in. It could be whatever you are putting onto the blockchain. So if I have a website and I want to store all of my products that are available on the blockchain, then I can put them onto the blockchain in a transaction. So you're not just limited to making payments or sending cryptocurrencies or sending NFTs. You can put whatever code you want onto the blockchain. Now, who owns the blockchain? Who runs it? Well, no one owns the blockchain, and it runs itself. So the blockchain is run by a network of computers around the world. And these computers all uphold the network. And if you wanted to, you could take your computer and connect it to the network, and then you would be part of the network of computers around the world that is keeping the blockchain running. So that is how the blockchain runs. No one owns it, and it runs with that network of computers that are all around the world. The blockchain began all the way back in 2008. So I say all the way back, but in comparison to other technologies, that is relatively new. So the first blockchain was the Bitcoin blockchain, but there were actually ideas for the blockchain roaming around way back in the 90s. But in 2008, a mysterious entity whom we don't actually know exactly who it was, they published anonymously a white paper. Their name was Satoshi Nakamoto, and they published a white paper, which means it was a paper that describes how you could build a blockchain with code. And you can actually read the software or the paper for it online. So that was back in 2008 with the first blockchain. But since then, tons of other blockchains have been created. And you could actually build your own blockchain as well if you wanted to. For example, the next big blockchain that came out was the Ethereum blockchain in 2015. So these two are the most popular blockchains out there, Bitcoin and Ethereum. So why was Ethereum so popular when it was number 2? It wasn't even number 1. Well, the Ethereum blockchain was built specifically to address some of the limitations of the Bitcoin blockchain. And with the Ethereum blockchain, we got a lot more power and opportunity for what you can do with blockchain technology. So in our masterclass coming up soon, we're going to be discussing and working with the Ethereum blockchain because it is the most popular blockchain for taking a piece of software and connecting it to decentralized or blockchain technology. So that's why we are focusing on the Ethereum blockchain in our course. With the Ethereum blockchain, you can build something like a decentralized app, which means you take something like an app or a game or a website, any piece of software, and you incorporate blockchain technology into it. This could be something really simple, like you decide that you want to accept payments in cryptocurrency, or you could add more features, like you can allow people to sign in with the blockchain account instead of having to sign up with a username and a password. You can also store different processes or data on the blockchain as well. You can also put contracts onto the blockchain. For example, if you want to have a store, instead of managing all your orders on your website in the traditional sense, where you just take in orders and then you send out the products, you can store all of that technology with the blockchain. So you put a contract onto the blockchain that says, if anyone sends me 1 Bitcoin, for example, I will send them this product immediately. So all the transactions are done with the blockchain. And therefore, your users can trust that they'll get what you said they would get because the code lives on the blockchain. So those are just some examples of apps that you can build, or software that connects to blockchain technology. But you don't have to build apps either. You can just build the contract itself. So with Ethereum, you can build these apps, these websites, this software, or you can just build the contracts themselves. So you can build the contracts and put them onto the blockchain, and that's it. People can still interact with those contracts. So let's discuss more about these contracts. These contracts for the Ethereum blockchain are called Solidity smart contracts. And we're going to be building tons of these contracts together in our course. So a contract in the general sense is an agreement. If we write a contract that every Friday I'm going to teach you about the blockchain, if we sign the contract, we're making an agreement. And the idea of a smart contract is similar. You are writing some kind of code that is an agreement or can perform different functionalities. And you can take the contract, write whatever you want the contract to do, and then put it onto the blockchain. It's called a smart contract because it's written with code. And it's called a Solidity smart contract because Solidity is the coding language that we use to write the contracts. So if I were going to write a contract with you, I would write it in English likely, and then we would sign it. But for writing a contract that the Ethereum blockchain can understand, we have to write it in the Solidity coding language. So we have to learn how to code in Solidity. And so these smart contracts can hold tons of different functionalities. For example, a lot of different contracts are written for financial instruments and financial apps, like a crowdfunding campaign, a lottery, a loan, a bank. So you can define in your contract, I'm going to allow bank accounts that have balances and people can withdraw and deposit funds into their bank accounts. And so you can write all of that out and then put it onto the blockchain. And then users, like anyone like you and me, we can interact with the contract. We can say, hey, I want to sign up for that bank. So I'm going to create an account via the smart contract. I'm going to deposit some money via the smart contract. I want to withdraw some funds with that smart contract. So you can build these contracts that live on the blockchain, and they are self-executing. So you can put them on the blockchain and then you can leave, and the smart contract will continue to accept users that want to interact with it. For example, I could build a smart contract for a game. I could define a game, and then users can come and interact with the smart contract. They can, for example, create accounts and perform different actions. So throughout our course, we're going to build tons of smart contracts because at the heart of a blockchain, everything is a smart contract. Anything that you want to put on the blockchain is a smart contract. If you want to build an NFT, that NFT will be a smart contract. If you want to build your own cryptocurrency, that cryptocurrency will be a smart contract. So anything that you want to build out, you will do so in the form of a smart contract. So that's why in our class, we're going to learn how to code in Solidity and build a lot of these smart contracts for different use cases, because there's tons of smart contracts that you can build. Whatever you can think of, you can build out. And it's easy to get started. If you want to, you can start looking at contracts already online and start building some out, I'll drop a link in the chat to remix.ethereum.org. This is a free online code editor where you can take a look at some contracts and start writing some contracts yourself. But don't worry if it's confusing, because there is a lot to learn about Solidity, about coding, about contracts. So if you don't understand what's going on yet, that's totally expected. That's why we designed this masterclass to teach you how to build these smart contracts. So if you want to build your own blockchain project, or if you want to get hired as a blockchain programmer and they tell you, build us a smart contract for managing our orders and tracking the shipments, you can build all that out and then give them the smart contract. That is the goal of the course. Now, throughout our course, we're also going to build contracts for cryptocurrencies and NFTs. So we are going to do an overview tonight of cryptocurrencies and NFTs, and then of course dive much deeper in the actual course. Before we continue, Naya has a question. Does anyone else see the links in the chat? Okay, perhaps links are not shown in the chat. Okay. Let's see. We'll fix that later. Might be something in the settings. Okay, fix that later. Well, let's see. All the links are also in the slide. So we are recording this for YouTube. So if anyone wants the links, then go to the YouTube channel, Lumiwealth, and you can rewatch this video in order to see these slides. Okay, yes, it looks like I'm sharing links with only panelists. Okay, I'll fix that at the end. Okay, so again, if anyone wants to try, then just go to remix.ethereum.org. Okay, so next up, as mentioned, we're going to do a quick introduction to cryptocurrencies and NFTs. So starting off, you may have likely heard of cryptocurrencies and NFTs before, perhaps in the media or in the news, because they have become a lot more popular throughout the years. And especially now, there's a lot of hype and popularity around cryptocurrencies and NFTs. But as mentioned, the blockchain technology does go even further beyond just cryptocurrencies and NFTs. But in our course, we are going to learn how to build smart contracts for cryptocurrencies and NFTs, along with other smart contracts as well. So what is a cryptocurrency in the first place? A cryptocurrency is something like Bitcoin or Ether. If you've heard of these, those are very common cryptocurrencies. And this refers to a digital currency that is secured by cryptography. And the whole point of a cryptocurrency is that it is built on blockchain technology. And with blockchain technology, it makes it almost impossible to counterfeit or double spend the cryptocurrency, because the blockchain will track who owns what piece of cryptocurrency. So if I spend 1 Bitcoin on your website to buy from you a computer, and then I try to go to a different website and spend the exact same coin on a different computer, I wouldn't be able to do that, because that would be double spending, trying to spend the same exact coin twice. And with the blockchain is tracking who owns what coin at any time. So it's a lot harder to double spend the same coin twice. With a regular virtual currency, like just your US dollar that you're buying, that you're using virtually, for example, via your credit card, it's easier to double spend or counterfeit because it's not backed by the cryptography of the blockchain. So with the blockchain, we can take a cryptocurrency or take a currency and make it a lot harder to counterfeit. So some examples are Bitcoin and Ether, two very popular cryptocurrencies, but there are tons of cryptocurrencies out there. Some cryptocurrencies have their own blockchains, like the Bitcoin cryptocurrency is tied to the Bitcoin blockchain because it is the native coin of the Bitcoin blockchain. And same thing with Ether, it is the native coin of the Ethereum blockchain. But other cryptocurrencies you can create yourself, and they're not tied to a blockchain. They're not the native coin of a blockchain, but there's still a cryptocurrency that can be used to make transactions. So in our course, we're going to teach you how to build your own cryptocurrency. We also have crypto tokens, which we're going to teach you how to build. So if you build your own cryptocurrency, it's technically a crypto token because it's not a native cryptocurrency that has its own blockchain. To create a native cryptocurrency, you'd have to also build your own blockchain. But if you want to build your own cryptocurrency, which would fall under crypto token, this is built on an existing blockchain and can represent an asset if you wish to. For example, we have fungible tokens, which would be your own cryptocurrency. And we also have non-fungible tokens, which would be an NFT. So in our course, we're going to teach you how to build these different crypto tokens. A cryptocurrency is a crypto token, and an NFT is a crypto token as well. So cryptocurrencies we discussed, but what about NFTs? An NFT stands for non-fungible token. So the token part means that it is some kind of contract that lives on the blockchain. It's been put onto the blockchain, and it represents an asset. So this could be a fungible token, which would be a cryptocurrency, or a non-fungible token, an NFT. So if a token is fungible, this means every token can be interchanged for another. So it's like a dollar bill. If I trade a dollar bill with you, we're essentially giving each other the same thing. We're not exchanging or buying anything. We're just swapping dollar bills. That would be a fungible token because we can swap them and it doesn't matter. But a non-fungible token, we can't swap. It would matter. So a non-fungible token means that each token is unique and cannot be interchanged for another. So if we had both NFTs, this would be like if I had a laptop and you had a desktop computer and we tried to swap those. We could swap them, sure, but they don't represent the exact same thing. It's not like we're swapping $1 bill for another. So that's the difference between a fungible token, like a cryptocurrency, versus a non-fungible token, which is a collectible, unique crypto asset. So this could be a completely virtual asset that just represents a virtual item, or it could be tied to something in the real world, or tied to something in the virtual world. For example, you could have an NFT that is not tied to anything. You just put up a piece of artwork and you say that's your NFT, and then the value in the marketplace is what determines its value. Are people interested in that virtual NFT? Perhaps a celebrity created it, and that's why it's getting a lot of trading, even though it's just a virtual item. Or a non-fungible token can also be tied to something. For example, if you have a video game, you can say that whoever owns this specific NFT can have access to this item in the game. So if you own the NFT, you get these special privileges in the game. So you can have an NFT that is not tied to anything or that is tied to something. And we have a question from Hino: can anything be made an NFT? So as mentioned, an NFT can be just a completely virtual item, or it could be tied to anything. Yes, you could tie an NFT to your table or to your apartment, or you could tie an NFT to represent a product that you're selling. So if you buy this product, you also get the NFT. So in that sense, yes, you could tie anything to an NFT, but essentially an NFT is just a smart contract. And the smart contract follows certain rules and a blueprint that makes it an NFT. So I could create an NFT collection of a bunch of characters, and then each of them could have slightly different characteristics. So that makes them unique. And therefore, I can say this is my collection of NFTs, and I can put that collection onto the blockchain via a smart contract. And then anyone can come to the blockchain or go to a marketplace and they can purchase my NFT and then they can sell it. And so it can be traded around. And if in my code, I put in that I want to also take a percentage of every sale, then I can put that in the code. So I will take a percentage, 1% of every sale from now until the end of time. That's optional. You can add these extra features to your NFT in your code. And again, the NFT could be just a collection of characters that I thought up from the top of my head. And then their popularity on the marketplace or on the blockchain is what determines their value. Do people care about them? Maybe people know me, therefore they want to buy my NFT, just like any other asset. Or again, you could tie the NFT to something, but that is optional. All right, so that's an overview of cryptocurrencies and NFTs. Great questions, everyone. So those are a few of the topics that we're going to cover in the course. Most of the course is hands-on building projects. So we're going to do an overview of the blockchain landscape in the course. And then for the majority of the course, we are building projects so that you have a portfolio, the goal being to get you hired with a portfolio, and so you can answer interview questions and that you can get hired. And of course, if anyone has any other goals, like build your own project, we're happy to help you with those as well. Now we're going to jump into an overview of the course. So here is a link to the course on Lumiwealth. And so I'm going to just change my sending chat to everyone. Okay, now I see it, so that everyone can see this link and easily click on it. So this is our website, and you can read more information about our course. It's starting very soon, so you want to sign up quickly. We're starting our next round this Thursday, so very soon. Here is the official website, and we're going to go over the options that you have for signing up and the course curriculum. So we'll break down exactly what you will learn. So I hope everyone can see the link now. On this page, you can see our 3 different options for signing up. And we also have payment plans available. And we do also provide invoices if you need them for employment reimbursement. So we have our self-directed option, our live classes option, and our project help or tutoring option. So for the self-directed option, you will get lifetime access to all the videos and all of the code, as well as our community chats and instructor support and weekly discussion hour. For the live classes, you get everything in self-directed, and also you get 8 weeks of live classes. So every Thursday evening, we meet for 2 hours and we go through each week's curriculum live. As well, you'll get 6 hours of live Q&A and access to all future videos. So after we do this iteration, we'll have another iteration and you'll get access to all of the future videos as well. So when you sign up, you're not just signing up for this term, you can also watch all the videos of the next terms as well. And same thing with the code. You also get help with projects, and you can get to know your classmates and ask questions live, because at our live classes, if you have any questions, any requests, you can throw them my way and I will answer all your questions and take any requests. We also help with resume and interview preparation for the coding interview, if you do want to get hired as a blockchain programmer. And we have unlimited email and chat Q&A. Then we have our third option, which you get everything from the self-directed and the live classes, but also you get help with building a custom project. So if you have a project that you need help with, we will help you with 10 hours of one-on-one video or phone sessions. Also, if you just want extra tutoring, then you can have 10 hours of one-on-one tutoring. So these are our 3 options that are available. And feel free to book a call with us to discuss these options more. We also have bundle options where if you purchase more than 1 course, then you get to save. All right, so now let's discuss the course curriculum. So you can read the course curriculum on this page. We are going to go through the 8 weeks of blockchain programming. So the first week, we're going to get to know all of the students that are in the live class. And then we're going to do an introduction to the blockchain landscape, kind of like what we did tonight, but more in depth about blockchain, solidity, smart contracts, coding. And we'll also get started with writing our first Solidity code. Then in week 2, we're going to dive into Solidity coding fundamentals. So even if you have no coding or no blockchain experience, that's totally fine, because we're going to take you from the ground up. we're going to teach you Solidity from the basics up to building advanced smart contracts. So we're going to cover fundamental programming topics like variables, arrays, and all of these topics are applicable to other coding languages as well. So they're not just useful for becoming a blockchain programmer, they're useful for being any kind of programmer or any kind of developer. In week 3, we're going to get started building some smart contracts. We'll learn how to send cryptocurrencies, how to build a data storage contract, a profit splitter contract, and more. Then in week 4, we're going to get into building smart contracts with inheritance. This is a key programming concept. So again, it's applicable to all types of programming. But specifically, we're going to learn how to build smart contracts and then learn all these coding concepts along the way. Then in week 5, we're going to build more advanced contracts, including abstraction, a bank, a contract with a library, and a contract with limits like limited time options. So we're going to build out more of these contracts for different use cases. And again, along the way, we're going to learn a lot about Solidity and how to code in general. In week 6, we're going to learn how to build a cryptocurrency and an NFT. So we are going to learn the standards for building cryptocurrencies and NFTs and then build them out together. Then in week 7, we're going to deploy our NFT to a public network, so to the blockchain. Deployment means putting your contract onto the blockchain. Throughout the way, we'll learn how to use a cryptocurrency wallet, how to deploy or send the contract to the blockchain, and then how to check that contract on an NFT marketplace. And then finally, in week 8, we're going to build and deploy a smart contract with Truffle and Ganache. Truffle and Ganache are 2 popular tools for building decentralized applications. So this would be a piece of software like a website, an online store, and taking that application and then making it decentralized. So incorporating decentralized technology into the site. So we're going to learn how to build a smart contract with Truffle and how to deploy the contract to a blockchain. And then we will talk about where you can go from here. So we'll provide you some more ideas for projects you can build from here, more tools that you can learn from here, and also some examples of questions that you'll be asked if you do choose to take on the coding interview and apply for a blockchain programmer role. Our next upcoming class is this Thursday, March 31st. Registration closes very soon, so don't miss out. We still have some spots left. We do keep our class sizes small so that everyone can participate. So make sure to jump in there before registration closes. We meet every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time or 5 p.m. Pacific Time. There is also optional homework every week. We're not going to check your homework, but we do provide you opportunities for how you can review what you learned and practice out projects. And every week it is 2 hours per week live over Zoom, just like tonight. We also have more courses coming later, like starting in June. If you do sign up early for June, you will also get a 20% discount because it is so early. But we are also starting on Thursday a new round, so you are all at the perfect time for watching this webinar because we're starting very soon. Throughout the course, we're going to be building tons of different projects, like, again, many smart contracts, cryptocurrencies, and an NFT. So we're building tons of projects along the way. It's a very projects-based course. If you want to learn how to build projects for the blockchain, or you want to enter the blockchain industry, this is the perfect place. If you just want to learn how to code, this is also a great place to learn how to code. And we're going to be learning how to code with blockchain along the whole way. All right, so here, that is an overview of the curriculum for our course. So that brings us to the end of our webinar. If anyone has any questions, feel free to drop them now, and we will stay and answer any questions that you may have. I'll also drop the links again, for example, to our YouTube channel, if anyone wants to rewatch this webinar or watch our other webinars. and subscribe because we are adding lots of free content every week. We also have a Discord channel I will drop in the chat where you can meet other students and ask questions. And again, feel free to book a call with us if you have any more questions about the course. Also, you will get a certificate of completion and tons of projects throughout the way. So at the end of our course, you'll have a whole GitHub portfolio with tons of projects. All right, so thank you, everyone. If anyone has any questions about the course, feel free to drop them now. I'm also going to drop a link to the online code editor where everyone can get started if you want to try out your hand at building contracts. Don't worry if it's too overwhelming because, again, we will teach you all you need to know about building these contracts together. This is just a preview link for those of you that want to check it out. All right, thank you so much, everyone. And let us know if you have any questions. Yes, if you have any questions, feel free to email us as well. So just hop on over to our site and book a call with our Lumiwealth team. So feel free to book an intro meeting at any of these available times. And yes, you can email as well. Rob is dropping the email in the chat to our team member, Alicia. Awesome, okay. Feel free to ask any other questions if anyone does have them. Okay, if we have no other questions, we'll wrap up the night. Thank you, everyone. Stephen, Shakia, Naya, thank you all for attending, and everyone else, of course. Yes, feel free to share all your Discords, everyone, and get to know each other. And I look forward to seeing you all on Thursday when we'll begin week 1.